brother judge, the Honorable Mr. Justice Mugambi, there were in fact 6 matters, 6 petitions, not 4. And I was going to list them. First, E506 of 2024. Number 2, E509 of 2024. Number 3, 522, in which I appear with the colleagues I mentioned. Number 4, 525 of 2024. And number 6, E537. And your brother judge directed that all these 6 files be forwarded to the Honorable Chief Justice and to be placed before a 3-judge bench that the Chief Justice empaneled, which is your lordships and your leadership. So there ought to be 6 files, and I thought for the sake of accuracy, perhaps appearances in each of these files can be taken. They were not formally consolidated, but because they raise similar issues, they were to be argued before this 3-judge bench. I thank you.
Thank you. I think that's clear enough. We'll proceed and take quorum on each of the files.
Lord, will it be easier to say that the quorum is the same for all the respondents, maybe for the petitions? For the respondents, the quorum is the same.
This is E506, Caroline Wambui Mangi versus National Assembly and 3 others.
And basically, your lordships, in the matter, my name is Community Minor, and I will be appearing for the petitioner alongside Visit Ian, also probably virtually, and Okol Obea assisting us.
Yes.
Lord, for the first respondent, I believe is the National Assembly. You have Mr. Eric Gumbo, Paul Nyamodi, Dr. Mtombi Ntiakulu, Moses Kiproge, myself, Peter Wanyama. Lord, for the second...
Dr. Peter Wanyama.
Dr. Mtombi Ntiakulu, myself, just Peter Wanyama.
For the first respondent.
For the first respondent. But not for the second respondent, you have Mr. Milimo, that is the Speaker of the National Assembly, Mr. Milimo, together with Mr. Kuyoni. Kuyoni is present in court, Milimo is in the online platform. Lord, did the Speaker send it, the third respondent? Third and fourth, the Senate.
Third respondent, the Senate.
Yeah, so my Lord, I have the privilege to introduce Mercy Thanji and Ms. Sopola for the third and fourth. respondent. They are both present in court.
Is there any other party who is left out of this? Next file is E509. Bully, Mamenya, and 4 others versus the National Assembly for Kenya and others.
Please, Your Lordship. My lady. My name is Debanjiro. I do appear for the petitioners alongside Mr. Mwangi Ndegwa, Mr. Mburu, alongside Mr. Mwangi Ndegwa, Mr. Simon Mburu, and Mr. Ngati for the petitioners.
For the first respondent, the National Assembly, you have Mr. Eric Gumbo, the online platform, Paul Nyamodi in the online platform, Moses Kipugay, the online platform, Dr. Mudhomi Yankolu in the online platform, and myself, Peter Manyama, in open court. And we vote for the second respondent. You have Mr. Milimo in the online platform, Mr. Kuyoni physically in court, and Ms. Akama also physically in court. My lord, for third and fourth respondent, you have Mercy Fanji together with Ms. Paula.
We have the fifth respondent, that is the Attorney General, and then we have His Excellency Geoffrey Gachagua for the first interested person. The first interested person.
In 509,
Yes.
the same team of lawyers is representing the deputy president as an interested party.
Their appearance for the fifth respondent, Attorney General. Next is E525.
My lords and your leadership, the advocate appearing that matter informs me that his microphone is muted, is on the online platform, but unfortunately he's not able to address the court.
Is who?
Lempas Yanka.
Can you admit him, please? Can you please brief and tell us who he is?
Yes, my lords and your leadership, Lempasu Yanka represents the petitioner.
Who?
Lempasu Yanka represents the petitioner in 525 of 2024.
Yes.
And in that matter, Lempa has sued the National Assembly. The appearances for National Assembly is as follows. First respondent, Mr. Eric Gumbo, Paul Nyamodi, Moses Kigei, Dr. Mtomi Mpiankolu, myself, Peter Wanyama. Then the second respondent is the Senate. You have Mercy Tanji, present in court, Ms. Opola, also present in court.
Yes. You have interested parties, okay? Senior Counsel, we are still here for the interested party.
The deputy president, yes.
The whole team? Or
The whole team, yes. The same team.
My lord, my lady. May it please my lord, my lady.
Just a minute, please.
Yeah, on behalf of the petitioner in petition 525 of 2024, my name is Lempa, and I am here together with Gachagua, Ale. Online.
You said you appear with who?
Gachagua, Ale.
Who's for the second interested party in this matter? Who's for President William Samuel Ruto?
Well, just to assist the court, initially my friend, senior counsel, Fred Ngatia, was appearing for both the president and the deputy president. There was a change of advocates, so we are appearing for the deputy president. I assume senior counsel Fred Ngatia continues to appear for the president.
Thank you. Would Mr. Garcia be all right? Apparently not. A528.
Your Lordship, I don't think you have taken the entire quorum for A25, 525.
You are left out.
Yes, yes. And the challenge, Your Lordship, is that I have not carried that particular file. Perhaps you could tell me Jubilee Party appears as which interested party?
Jubilee Party does not appear here.
All right, your parties, I don't know what has
The
happened.
parties here are John Petitioner, the National Assembly, the Senate of Kenya, His Excellency Deputy President, and His Excellency William Samuel Ruto.
All right, I'm going to guide it.
Uh, 528, John Mungo Rago, and 5 others, versus the National Assembly of Kenya and 4 others.
My lords and my lady, if it pleases the court, in that matter, my name is Simon Buru. I am on record for the petitioners. We'll be appearing together with Mr. Ngatia, present in court, and Mr. Ndegwa Msilo,
Where's Mr. Garcia?
present.
Not the guys you expect. And Mr. Ndegwa.
I am present here. Thank you.
My Lord, for the National Assembly, again you have Mr. Eric Gumbo, Paul Nyamodi, Moses Togay, Ken Nelly, Dr. Mutomi Ntiankolu, and myself, Peter Wanyama. Lord, for the Speaker of the National Assembly, you have Mr. Milimo.
Just a minute. And you are for which party first?
For the first respondent.
Second respondent.
Yes, so for the second respondent, I have the privilege to introduce Mr. Milimo, who is the online platform, Mr. Kuyoni, who is present in court, and Ms. Akama, also present in court. Then, my Lord, for the third and fourth respondent, you have Ms. Stanji, together with Ms. Paula. Thank you.
I hope you have taken quorum on all the relevant sites.
Do you have 537, my Lord?
Five by seven. We have Gemma Wato Association, National Assembly.
Yeah, Your Lordship. My name is Gachagua Waduta. Wakuta. I appear together with my learned friend, Mr. Wambugu Wanjon, who is sitting next to me. Mr. Kariuki Karanja, who on the class is on the online platform, and Mr. James Dennis, equally on the online platform.
James Dennis.
James Dennis.
In this matter, for the first respondent, the National Assembly, you have Mr. Eric Gumbo in the online platform, Paul Nyamodi in the online platform, Moses Kipkugei in the online platform, Ken Meli in the online platform, Dr. Mudomi Ntiankolu, the online platform, and myself, Peter Wanyama. My Lord, for the Speaker of the National Assembly and the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly who appear second and the third respondent respectively, you have Mr. Milimo in the online platform, Mr. Kuyoni and Ms. Akama are present in court for those two parties. Then, my Lord, for the Senate, that is the fourth and the fifth respondent, as the Speaker of the Senate, you have Mrs. Stanji, Mrs. Paula. Mrs. Stanji and Mrs. Paula, they are present in court physically. Thank you.
There is some the AG as and Honorable Gachagua also as interested parties.
Yes, same representation for him.
I think that does for the forum.
Representation. My Lord, all these petitions,
You want to address the on which one?
522.
Yes.
My Lord, before I address these honorable courts in 522, there's one housekeeping issue that perhaps your lordships and your leadership may wish to address at this stage, which is that your brother, Mr. Justice, the Honorable Mr. Justice Mugambi, directed all these files to the Chief Justice. They raise cross-cutting issues. So to save on judicial time, I don't know whether this court prefers that they be heard together without being consolidated, or whether the court would prefer to have them consolidated. I'm just drawing the attention of this honorable court to that, so that we can clarify how we move forward with all the 6 petitions. I might add that the 6 petitions have been filed because of the very weighty issues, constitutional issues, that are raised in each of these 6 matters. So the issue for the court to resolve, do we hear them together without formal consolidation, or do we consolidate them and hear them as consolidated?
What is your proposal?
My proposal, subject to what my learned friends say, is that we hear them together, concurrently, without any formal consolidation. But I leave it to my colleagues, and finally to the court. You are the ones with the pen and paper.
Thank you.
My Lord, for the respondents. Okay.
Yeah, Your Lordship, I thought I was speaking to my learned friend that perhaps the petitioners also make their proposals, so that in respect to my learned senior's suggestions, so that then the respondents can then join. I am of the same view, Your Lordship, in petition number 509, that since they raise cross-cutting issues, for proper management of our time and expediency, that a consolidation of the same be considered. So that we can have a centralized way of advocating over the matters. So that if I am to submit, Your Lordship, I'll submit on the consolidated petition. I am most obliged.
Lord, since the other petitioners don't want to have a bite, Mr. Watuta wanted to say something.
That was you.
Yes, Your Lordship, in E0509.
Your Lordship, in 537, we can have the matter heard alongside each other without a formal consultation.
Your name?
My name is Gachagua. In 530.
My Lord, with your permission, in petition number 528 of 2024, Simon Dore is my name. I would wish that we proceed with the matters being consolidated and we respond to a consolidated petition. Simon Dore, yes. Thank you very much.
Prefer consolidation.
Consolidation.
We have council who are online. I believe that you understand what we are talking about here, and if you want to contribute, you may say something.
My Lord, perhaps, if I may, for the National Assembly, my name is Nyamodi. I am online.
Yes.
My Lord, the National Assembly is respondent in all these issues. And perhaps, my Lord, this is an opportune time for me to point out to you that there are 23 other petitions. There are 29 in number altogether.
Yes.
My Lord, the National Assembly has made an application for consolidation, and that application for consolidation is on the court record in this matter. And my Lord, the National Assembly is of the view that these matters are best dealt with after consolidation, that they are consolidated and had as a consolidated position. Because the issues are cross-cutting and they are the same in nearly all the 29 petitions that are pending in respect of this process.
Thank you. Is there any other person who wants to submit on the issue?
Yes, my Lord, your Bishop.
Yes.
Believe my Lord. My Lord, I appear, my Lord, for the Speaker of the National Assembly. My Lord, on our part, we associate ourselves with the submissions of Malani Senior, Mr. Nyamodi. My Lord, you shall note that the petitions, my Lord, a total to 29 in number, my Lord, raised similar or same issues. And my Lord, so that then we handle these issues together, we will propose, my Lord, that you exercise, my Lord, some patience to have all those matters availed before the bench, my Lord, one way or the other. Because, my Lord, we shall note that some have since been referred to the CJ. And it is expected, my Lord, that they will all lunch before this bench. And that, my Lord, therefore, so that we take directions once and for all in respect of all those matters, my Lord, we would expect that maybe the court consider, my Lord, to grant this matter a mentioned date. Maybe by Friday. At which time, my Lord, it should be expected that all the matters would have been availed before you, then we take directions. We will go for consolidation, my Lord, of all the matters so that we have one consolidated file. And if possible, my Lord, then receive the issues in all the files so that the responses can be one to all the petitions as opposed to each, which will be, my Lord, a little bit difficult and tedious for the parties. I thank you, my Lord.
Thank you. Mr. Milimo and Mr. Namodi, have you cited the 29 petitions which you claim have been filed?
My Lord, we have cited as many as they were when the application for consolidation was made. But my Lord, they have been coming thick and fast. I have the list of the 29. If your Lordship wants, I can read it out and place it on record.
Yes, Senator Councilman.
My Lord, being in a court of law, particularly a court of record, means that the court is guided by practice. Your Lordships, your Ladyship are being addressed about files which are not before this Honorable Court. The Lordship cannot make any orders regarding consolidations or being heard together. These 6 files are before this Honorable Court pursuant to the orders of the Chief Justice. If anybody wants to do anything else, let them follow the correct procedure. But we are anxious today in 522 to argue our notice of motion for conservatory orders. That is why we are here. I hear my colleague, learned friend Mr. Milimo, talking about Friday, after the Senate may have sat. We are seeking to persuade this court to issue a conservatory order today so that the illegality and constitutional resolution by the National Assembly does not proceed any further. Give us that opportunity to persuade this Honorable Court on our notice of motion for the conservatory orders. Unless, of course, my colleagues Mr. Milimo and Mr. Nyamondi concede to our applicant to give us a conservatory order.
Yeah, my Lord, I was addressing the issue of consolidation. My colleague is agitated. He doesn't want me to.
I thought we were the ones to make response in respect to what they have submitted on.
The issue of consolidation, I think, should not stand too much for.
It shouldn't, Your Lordship.
That's okay, my Lord. My Lord, that's, I want just to clarify.
Yes.
My Lord, there are files. For example, there's a file today which we have just appeared before Justice Chacha Mwita. We appear as respondents in all these matters. Therefore, we have a singular duty to bring out these facts to the court so that you can consider. Today, at 3:30, Justice Chacha Mwita has made a ruling in 550 of 2024.
Why don't we deal with the issue of consolidation?
That's what, my Lord, I'm laying basis for my application.
Files before us here,
Yeah.
then we can then move forward.
My Lord, the issue of consolidation we are submitting will be, if you make that order now, it's going to be affected with the decision which has been made today by Justice Chacha Mwita. And my Lord, I wanted to just address you so that you can consider that. So my Lord, today Justice Chacha Mwita has issued a ruling in 550 of 2024, forwarding this file to the Chief Justice. And the comments from the file by the learned judge is that the Chief Justice should consider forwarding that file as well to this bench for consideration. So, my Lord, that is information which is useful. My Lord, secondly, in Kiambu 039 of 2024, again, the learned judge has issued a similar order, forwarding the file to the Chief Justice for consideration by this, for possible consideration by this bench. Again, in Kerugoya E014 of 2024, my Lord, similar orders have been issued. So that, my Lord, whereas we don't oppose the order for consolidation, if those other files are then brought by the Chief Justice to this bench, then there will be a need for further consolidation or consideration for that question of further consolidation. That's why, my Lord, Mr. Milimo was submitting that, and we take great exception to the submission that conservatory orders be issued. You cannot issue conservatory orders when the question...
My Lord, I asked for an opportunity to argue that application. He's going into the merits.
My Lord, I'm not arguing the merits. What I'm saying is that you cannot consider the question of conservatory orders until all the files are properly before you for determination. Nonetheless, my Lord, if they are ready to argue the question of conservatory orders, my Lord, we are ready to respond to that question of conservatory orders. But my Lord, we are just bringing facts to court so that, my Lord, when you make judicial decisions, my Lord, you are guided by Mutunga rules, which require efficiency, judicial economy, and, my Lord, scarce use of judicial resources.
Your Lordship, we are here because you have 6 files before you. And these files do not just land before this bench. They were through a judicial process of certification. Any file that is not before you, has not been certified by the Chief Justice, cannot be a point of consideration when considering the question of consolidation. I am equally eager, Your Lordship, to urge my application on the conservatory order. So, Your Lordship, anything that is not before you, most respectively, cannot be a question for your consideration.
My Lord, for the Senate and the Speaker of the Senate, Taji, my Lord, we are parties, we are in the same position as the National Assembly. We find ourselves in all these petitions. The petitioners have the luxury of dealing with their specific petitions. So, my Lord, the question of consolidation is an important one. And also what Mr. Wanyama has submitted is important. There are 3 other files that will be referred to this bench or whichever other bench the Chief Justice decides to constitute. So, my Lord, at this point, what the petitioners are doing this afternoon is grossly unfair to the respondents. We would seek for the court to give directions on the preliminary matters, and we are not afraid to proceed with the application. We have filed our grounds of opposition to the application. But, my Lord, when we find ourselves in all these matters at the same time concurrently, it becomes very difficult for the respondents to have their day in court. So, my Lord, we urge that first we deal with the question of consolidation.
Your Lordship, what I heard my learned friend for the Senate suggesting is that
I think it's just in order when you speak, you introduce yourself because we do it.
Very well, Judge. Very well, Judge. My name is Gachagua. My Lord, what I heard my learned friend suggesting is that for now, do not listen to an application for conservative order made by the petitioners, because there are other petitions which are not before you that may come before you or they may go before another court. These petitions, my Lord, we've learned through this process, they continue to be filed more or less after 2 days, after 3 days. There will be no end to filing of these petitions. So, for what is before you, let us proceed. We also ready to argue our application to conservatory order. Otherwise, my Lord, all this time will lapse when petitions are being filed left, right, center. So, it is not unfair to file petitions against the National Assembly or the Senate, and therefore, the suggestion that we are being unfair to them to include them in every petition is totally wrong, because they are the proper parties in any petition. Thank you.
Madam,
Yes.
with your permission.
Yes.
This is Nyamoni for the National Assembly. If I could perhaps just point out to the bench that the invitation that was sent out by the Deputy Registrar of the Constitutional Division to parties yesterday indicated that the matter is before the bench this afternoon for a mention. I'm not sure whether it is very proper if this matter is set down before you for a mention, for any party to see urge any substantive application that is pending for hearing and determination in this matter.
My Lord, if I may, looking at all the petitions that have been filed before this court, most of them had a certificate of urgency seeking ex parte order. So therefore, it is not true, or it does not, it's not convincing from my learned colleagues anymore that it is not fair for them to be confronted with application giving a mention for a case that has been listed for a mention.
Who is speaking?
So that the
What is your name? What is your name?
Expert.
Please, can you tell us who you are?
My Lord, my name is Lempa in petition 525 of 2024.
My Lord and my lady, if my colleague is through, permit me to say something small.
Yes, Mr.
The
Howard.
purpose of today's mention was for the bench to take directions in respect of the disposal of the petitions that were forwarded to the Chief Justice pursuant to the ruling of Justice Mugabe, and or to consider any interlocutory applications. As we speak right now, responses to the petitions and the applications have not been met. My humble request therefore will be for the court to give directions to the filing of responses if the court is minded to determine the petitions instead of dealing with interlocutory applications, and to give us an indication when we may return to either hear those interlocutory applications or the petitions as consolidated if the court is minded to consolidate them. Otherwise, we'll end up spending so much additional time hearing everybody on a matter which the court itself will even have made directions to.
Senior Counsel Muta, you said you filed an application.
Yes,
in this matter.
Yes.
Can you cite it?
My Lord, in 522 for 2024, we have the following documents. One, the certificate of urgency dated 2nd of October 2024. It is there, including hard copies.
When was it filed?
2nd of October 2024. This is what was before the Honorable Justice Mugabe.
It was not hard.
We say the issues raised in the certificate and in the petition are so weighty that they needed more than one judge. And your brother agreed, and therefore sent the petition and the certificate to the Chief Justice to constitute this bench, which I'm happy was constituted. And therefore, we made it clear for the petition applicant in 522 that we wished to argue this certificate of urgency before a 3-judge bench. And we are here today. We wish to argue that certificate.
Have you received any responses?
Yes, they have filed grounds of opposition, PO, and that sort of thing. They've complied. And my Lord, we are seeking to stop the impeachment in the Senate tomorrow. So we need to be heard today, whichever way this court proceeds to rule.
My Lord, can I make one submission?
So they've got hard copies of this. They are here. These are the ones. What is the one? One, two, two, two. Yes. But we had given hard copies. Okay. Yeah, no.
So we have consulted on the issue of the submissions which were made, firstly on consolidation for the matters which are before us, and secondly on the issue of the application dated 2nd of October.
Your Lordship, how about my application? I indicated that I would also wish to urge my application dated the 30th of September. Perhaps you could
Which
see.
orders are you seeking?
I am seeking for conservatory orders as well.
Which kind of consultation orders?
Your Lordship.
See, once we deal with the issue of consolidation, we are filing.
All right, okay. I'll be patient.
Yes. So it seems to us best to have all these matters consolidated and had together as a consolidated petition. And that is the order of the court. What we'll then do is to reconfigure the parties and find out how we refer to them. Judge River will lead us in this process. And of course, by the way, consolidation is only for matters which are before us. We cannot entertain any matter which is not currently before us.
Yeah.
So the 6 matters which were referred to this bench will be consolidated and had together as one consolidated petition. We then now reconfigure the parties.
Thank you very much, Mr. Judge. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you can hear you, my Lord.
Yes, my Lord, we can hear you, my Lord.
Okay. Now, going by the ruling delivered by Judge Mzambi on the 11th day of October 2024, petition 522 of 2024 was made the lead petition. Therefore, the first petitioner in this series will be the Honorable Gachagua, that is petitioner number 1, and then the parties in 509 In 509, we have 5 petitioners. So petitioner number 2 will be Obuli Namenya. Petitioner number 3 will be Kennedy Karidi Gachagua. Petitioner number 4 will be Dennis Okumu. Number 5 will be Simon Muchangi. And number 6 will be Peter Maina Kanene. Then parties in 537. That will be petitioner number 7 will be Gemawato Association. (528). Petitioner number 8, the series will be John Mugo Iragu. (525). Petitioner number 9, the series will be Jomo John. And in 506, petitioner number 10 will be Caroline Wambui Mwangi. Then on the part of the respondents, that will appear as follows. The first 4 respondents in the lead petition, that is 522, will continue appearing as the first to the 4th respondent. That is, the first respondent will be the Speaker of the National Assembly of Kenya. Second is the National Assembly of Kenya. Third respondent will be the Speaker of the Senate. And the 4th will be the Senate. Then we will have Honorable Moses Masika Wetangula as the 5th respondent. Honorable Amason King Jeffa as the 6th respondent. The Honorable Attorney General will appear as the 7th respondent. And interested parties will appear as follows.
But not before you go to the interested party, you've forgotten the Deputy Speaker, National Assembly.
Deputy Speaker, National Assembly?
Yes, yes.
But which file does he appear in? I didn't see any of such a party.
Lordship, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly appears in E537.
537. E5.
stood as the third respondent in that matter.
547 is here. Oh yes, we have a third respondent. So this one will be, we complete again. Let's have the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly as the fifth respondent. Then Honorable Wetangula becomes the sixth. Then Honorable Amazon Joffa becomes the seventh. And the Honorable AG becomes the eighth respondent. Any other respondent we've left out? Okay. Then in respect of the interested parties, they will appear as follows. The first interested party will be Honorable William Samoei Ruto. And it appears like he will be the sole interested party in this.
The deputy president.
LSK.
On LSK. In which file does LSK appear?
522. We are the interested party in the lead file 522 of 2024.
So LSK becomes the second interested party. Any other interested party?
It's not in 528. Here is Mount Kenya jurist.
528.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mount Kenya jurist. Oh yes. So Mount Kenya jurist will be the third interested party. Next. Okay. We don't have any energies, so I think we are done with the consolidation and how the parties will appear henceforth.
We thank you. May I now have the opportunity to address the court on my motion?
On what is on?
On my notice of motion in 522 for conservatory orders.
We have just a minute.
Well, just a correction on the names. My Lord, your record should properly reflect the parties. When you refer to Honorable William Samoei Ruto, the proper statutory name is His Excellence. So you put HE instead of my Lord, instead of Honorable. My Lord, the same applies for regarding Gachagua.
Mr. Wanyama, I'm bound by the pleadings here, and they refer him as William Samoei Ruto.
My Lord, I'm just mentioning for the record of the court.
The court cannot amend the pleadings.
Yes.
That's how the petitioner perceives him.
Yes, we have taken the preliminary arguments put forth by Senior Counsel Mute and very brief responses which were made by various parties and responses thereto. We recognize that the application dated 2nd of October 2024 is a very urgent application, and therefore we will not entertain any further discussion on whether or not it should be had. The directions we are making is that we direct all parties to file submissions of 5 pages, each to be highlighted tomorrow in the morning at 9. So your submissions must be on file by 8 a.m. We'll give you 5 minutes each to highlight one issue in your submissions.
Well, my Lord, that defeats the whole purpose of that defeats the whole purpose of the notice of motion by the Deputy President, because Senate is commencing its impeachment at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And the whole purpose of this notice of motion was to stop that impeachment from commencing. So it's purely academic. We ask that we be heard now so that the record will reflect the arguments of the Deputy President, whichever way this honorable bench will rule. But asking us to come tomorrow at 9 renders our notice of motion nugatory, purely academic.
My Lord, if I may.
Yes, yes.
My Lord, this is Jamadi for the Second Respondent of the National Assembly. Tomorrow 9 a.m. may not be convened because the Senate will be proceeding with the impeachment tomorrow morning. And in any event, my Lord, it is the second respondent respectful position that this application, similar application, has been determined only a few hours ago by your brother, Mr. Justice Gachagua. Those same parties were arguing before Mr. Justice Gachagua, and before your Lordship decide whether or not to hear this application, it would be important to have sight of your brother Justice Gachagua ruling of the subject.
The Chief Justice considered that it is right that this notice of motion for conservatory order be considered by a bench of 3 judges, which is why he constituted this judge. Give us an opportunity, and I'll be very brief, I will take more than 15 minutes. That's all. At least let justice be seen to be done.
Is it correct that a similar application was heard and determined by Justice Gachagua?
One judge. The orders by the Honorable Mr. Justice Mugambi was that this matter raise such weighty issues, they should be heard, the conservative order application, by 3 judges, not 1 judge. And your Lordship, I have no doubt I'll be able to convince you to grant the conservatory order. If you give us 15, 20 minutes.
My Lord, with your permission, my Lord.
Just a minute, please.
Hello.
There were somebody was online. Yes, there was somebody online before you. Somebody.
Yes. If I may go first.
Well, my Lord, my name is Lampa. is petition 525 of 2024. Now, given that Justice Gachagua has already settled the question as to whether the court has impeachment, how which any action on impeachment and whether it complies with the Constitution, kindly allow me to make an oral application. So now that this matter is oscillating between the judiciary and the National Assembly, it is yet to go to the third arm of the government, which is the executive. My Lord, my lady, kindly admit my oral application seeking the following order: that pending the hearing and determination of this petition, a conservatory order issued restraining the President or his agents from nominating and or forwarding any name to the National Assembly for consideration of approval as newly appointed Deputy President. The second, on the ground that the court has determined it has jurisdiction on this issue. The court has expanded, has amended already this matter, has already started to process the various petitions before you. There is no legal order restraining the President or his agent from nominating and forwarding the National Assembly with lightning speed a new DP nominee to the National Assembly for approval if the Senate votes to impeach.
Mr. Lemba, I would suggest that you let us finish the issue before us here, then you can raise any application we listen to you. Because there's an application, that's the 2nd of October 2024. We want to deal with that one first.
Yes.
Mine is also, the petition, my notice of motion is also dated the 2nd day of October 2022. It's in support of that particular notice of motion.
Did you serve it?
Yes. And it was acknowledged, and that's the reason why we have responded to that particular petition.
Hello there.
We have even responded from the advocates from the National Assembly, Mr. Nyamoto, and Gumbo, advocate, by learned senior.
I think for the purposes of order, we cannot at the same time talk about two applications. We will deal with that one application, and if necessary, we will go to the second application. For the time being, we are dealing with the application dated 2nd of October 2024 by Senior Counsel Paul Mute.
Yes. May I address the court, my lord?
Yes.
Hello,
But with your permission.
Just a minute, please.
Milimo, my lord.
Yes, please.
Now, my lord, with the new configuration, my lord, I appear for the 1st, 5th, and 6th respondents. My lord, we've had the direction that you've given, my lord, that we appear before you tomorrow at 9 in respect, my lord, of the lead petitions application. My lord, on our part, we will be ready to appear before you, my lord, in the morning to oppose that application, my lord. And that, my lord, you shall note that in the decision that has just been delivered by your brother, Justice Mwita, it had some typographical errors, my lord, that his lordship indicated that it will be ready soon. We will be requesting, my lord, that you grant us an opportunity to rely on that ruling to demonstrate, my lord, that the lead petitioner before you is engaging in a process of abusing, my lord, the judicial process. And that, my lord, as we appeared before you this afternoon, my lord, you shall note that some of us, my lord, appeared virtually because we know, my lord, that the matter is coming up only for directions. For my daddy colleague, therefore, my lord, to seek that we proceed with the motion today is in itself, my lord, being not only discourteous, but dishonest also, my lord.
We have considered these submissions, and we must be alive to the urgency of the matter. After we made directions, Senior Counsel Paul Mute gave his further views, and we have consulted, and we are giving directions forward in a few minutes' time.
Your Lordship, we are humbled by the directions given, but perhaps, Your Lordship, as you consider the direction sought by my senior learned counsel, there is an application in 528, equally dated the 2nd of October, which is looking to address the consequences of the functions that will ensue either tomorrow or on Thursday, that may or may not render the office of the Deputy President vacant. These are very substantive question of should the Senate proceed to impeach the Deputy President, who is a petitioner, number one. What will ensue constitutionally in the absence of the IBC vis-a-vis the nomination that my learned friend Mr. Lempar was addressing? That is an equally important question, Your Lordship. Would seek your indulgence that as soon as senior counsel submits and pens off, that you grant us an opportunity to address you and convince you the reason as to why you need to admit our application and grant the order sought.
That is what I say.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Let's deal with the senior counsel's application. After we finish that, if there's any other applications, we can consider it.
I am willing to compromise my application and deal with the application in 528.
My Lord, I'm not arresting your directions. I'm just also going on record. My Lord, and this is now a practical scenario. My Lord, yesterday in petition 550 of 2024, we appeared for 4 hours from around 10 a.m. to around 2:30, hearing the question of conservatory orders before Justice Chacha Mwita. My Lord, the petitioner in that matter is regarding Gachagua. And my Lord, today at 3 p.m., Justice Chacha Mwita delivered a ruling dismissing the applications for conservatory orders. And my Lord, in that ruling, which we don't have the benefit of possessing the physical copy, the judge has said that the petition which he has determined is similar to this one. And therefore, even as you give directions, my Lord, for us, we will be ready, we will stretch ourselves if your directions are that we hear this matter. But my Lord, it is really a process which...
I think there's a good argument in the submission that this is a pre-judge bench.
Yes, yes.
And they want this matter to be considered a pre-judge bench.
Absolutely, my Lord. So my Lord, I'm just mentioning, as I wonder, that in that matter, the learned Justice Mwita has stated that the issues in that petition, which he has issued an order dismissing the request for conservatory orders, and in this matter are similar. So the learned judge has forwarded the file to the Chief Justice with the direction that the Chief Justice considers it to be forwarded here for purpose of similarity. I'm just pointing out the convergence, my Lord, so that you're able to have a picturesque perspective on the issue. So that, my Lord, even if we are ready, even if you direct that we hear this application, just know that, my Lord, we are really stretched in terms of the issues. We are really stretched in terms of time, and even my Lord, our physical ability to stand here and, my Lord, again, argue the same matter which we've been arguing, my Lord, for the last 5 hours.
It applies to all of us. And to the judges. To the judges. May I give our Lama some water? If he had any respect for age, he would have perhaps have said that he should be at the bottom of the
Are you ready to take directions?
Yes, my Lord.
Yes, we'll give directions on that.
We have considered the submissions made by Council with respect to the application of the 2nd of October 2024, and the following are the directions of the court, issued presupposing that all parties have responded to that application. The bench will hear the application in appreciation of the urgency of the matter, as well as the weighty issues arising, but on very strict timelines, again being realistic about the amount of time that is available, and in the following order. We will allow 7 minutes for each of the petitioners, 7 minutes for each of the petitioners. We will allow 5 minutes for each of the respondents to respond, 5 minutes, and we will allow a further 5 minutes for rejoinder by the petitioners. We aim to render a ruling tomorrow at 8 a.m. But please keep within the timelines that the court has set for our respective organ submissions.
And Lord, can we then adjourn for 5 minutes? Lord, I'm making a request.
Yes, that one is not a bad one.
Yes, sir.
But he has water.
Lord, I'm making the adjournment because I need to go to the car to pick my authorities. We didn't know that we are coming to make submissions so that we proceed.
Yes, that is in order. We will adjourn for 5 minutes.
But my Lord, we would like to come to court now that you're proceeding. We are already prepared for a mentor. And maybe we'll need about 30 or 45 minutes.
We can hear you very clearly, Mr. Nyamoti. If you can just remain where you are, there's no prejudice. We'll be able to hear you. Okay, we'll give you 30 minutes. We'll give you 30 minutes. All those who want to come to the open court, we'll give you 30 minutes.
Yes, my Lord, I was going to make a similar request. I think we'll be calling.
What's the time? We start at exactly 6 p.m.
I will abandon my application because because of yours. You want the time? Yeah, I have it. So instead of advising them, then I address the consequences.
This is NTV.